Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Power Couple podcast. I'm your host, MJ, and this is the lovely Angie. And we are going to talk about different things, exercises, and different medical things to help be healthy for older adults. And we want to make sure that you have the time to see the grandkids play golf, and we want to get you out there and being positive. So one of the things that I will tell you that I'm a nationally accredited personal trainer with the National Academy of Sports Medicine, corrective exercise specialist, and nutrition coach. And Angie is
I'm a nurse with over 40 years experience. I specialize in health and wellness because I also am a coach for aromatherapy techniques and hypnotherapist. So
Mm.
I deal more with the mind, the body, also being a nurse in the natural realm, do a lot of nutritional type things too, but mostly de-stressing of the mind and the body.
right. So where we're going to start today, as we're going to start at the head. We're going to start at the head, the neck muscles, and we're going to throw some medical terminology at you. Anyway, dermasticoid, kyphosis, things like that. Bottom line is, this all comes into upper cross syndrome, which is what it's called. And what that actually is that your head juts forward and it moves in a way. What we like to call that is tech neck. What is tech neck is? You know what tech neck is. You've been doing this, staring at your phone, staring at your phone, staring at your phone. That causes this overactive and underactive muscle structure. Overactive being in the shoulders, your front part of your neck, your what's called the pectoralis major and minor. That when your chest muscles can have that effect. What it does is underactive is makes that back muscles and the upper back and the upper trapezius. That's what starts to be underactive. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you some exercises, or at least explain some exercises because this may be on video and it may not be. It may be over the air. So either way, we're going to help you get through it, and you can listen to it and do that. Right?
All right. Now, the part of the issue too, what Mike is talking about, it starts with the body's going to try to overcompensate because if you are on these devices, if you're reading, if you're watching your phone, if you're on the videos or whatever, your neck is going to go into a position that it is not used to. And again, it's going to be something that is overly done. So kind of like your parents would tell you, stop making that funny face because then your face is kind of freeze and it's gonna stay like that. So it's similar.
Love that.
The muscles and the fibers start to shorten instead of having that nice stretch and that they're relaxed and that they know this is my function, whether it's flexion or extension or rotation and things. It starts to change up. So we don't want that. We want to correct those so that you don't have that. Okay, now you're walking around like this. We
Mhm.
want you to keep your body again in perfect alignment that the head and the shoulders are back and the neck is up. It opens up the diaphragm. And Mike had spoke of on a different occasion when it comes to swallowing. Yeah, you go to eat something, and because that nice alimentary canal, the tube that starts at your mouth and goes all the way down to your rectum, is now out of whack, that the food is not going down the pathway as it should. So
Right.
just stuff like that. It starts off as something simple and it develops into major issues when it can be easily corrected because the body can survive and it is brilliant. It wants to be in homeostasis and equilibrium. So we're just here to remind you that with little tweaks and stuff, you can get it back to that.
Right. And just so everybody knows, the homeostasis is everything is nice. Everything is the way it should be, correct?
Yes, it's a balance. That's
Balance.
it. You
Mhm.
know. And again, any type of exercise or therapies or things that we suggest, you do everything in moderation and you have to make sure that you do get clearance from your doctor. If you feel that it's painful, it's difficulty, if you start getting nauseous, if your body's telling you, oh, this ain't right,
Mhm.
again, make sure that you stop Stay well hydrated, breathe. Every movement you do, make sure you're breathing correctly, and always consult your doctor or, in some cases, nutritionist and things like that.
One of the things that we do when we do as a trainer and you do an assessment, you want to do what's called a PAR-Q exam, and you're going to ask questions to that person, to the trainer. What kind of health issues do you have? And that's, we're going to go with that. So we're going to do this based on the fact that you got this upper cross syndrome. And you may say, well, I don't use my phone all that much. I couldn't have it. Look, we are older. We have been using this tech neck and say tech, but before that, it was book neck because you were reading a book and you were always looking down at reading the book. You started this back when you were in first or second grade. You were starting to read books because you had to, and you were in your classroom. So that being said, let's talk a little bit about an assessment. When a trainer does an assessment on you, they are going to you sit there, you look in the mirror, you're gonna sit and say, "I don't think I have my neck move forward or anything
Mhm.
like that," right? You see yourself in the mirror, you're looking dead on at yourself. What we wanna do is trainer, you're gonna look at you from the side, and your head is gonna move forward when you're doing exercises. One of the things you can do, you can have a friend actually do an assessment. Do I have this? Yes, you do. Let's see. Let's take a look. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold your hands out in front of you and you're going to pull your hands back. What does your neck do? With a trainer, you're going to do with weight, but we're just going to look at the movement and see if your head kind of moves forward. Now you're going to, when somebody's looking at you, going, "Oh, your head's moving forward." It's almost like your body was trained into that now over time, right?
Yes, yes. Similar when we have our nurses, they'll go into the schools and we do the scoliosis test. We make them bend over. You know, when you're building stuff, you have that little lever that has that liquid in the solution. You put it on the back and you see if it stays balanced. But with that case, you're looking for the curve in the neck as you ask them to drop their arms down by their sides. So there's different techniques to see if that's what you have, or if your neck, no, there's no curve. It's pretty okay, but you still want to practice these techniques just to make sure it does not develop down the line.
Right. So, when they see the assessment, and even if you have a friend of yours, now maybe you want to talk to your doctor, your trainer, anything like that you're doing. One of the things we want to make sure that you're doing is you want to be active, you want to get in the gym, but right now maybe you're not in the gym, but you're thinking about it. You're in that stage where, you know what, MJ's right. The head is moving forward a little bit. Maybe I should do something about. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to work on a couple of exercises, basic stretching exercises, and this can be done without weights. There is ways of doing it with weights. There's ways of doing it at the gym. You can do it on the ball. You can do it with your cables and things. You can do it with dumbbells. You can do it. Actually, there's something that's really great that we will talk about later called self myofascial rolling. And you see these big rolls, and there's different exercises for that. But right now, let's start off with the fact that you are not in the gym, though that you are going to be on your own. And this is something you can do at your desk. You could do it from the TV. You could do it at the dinner table. You can do it from the computer. You can do it in the shower if you want. And, just kind of sit there. Actually, it probably would be pretty good with hot water running on your
Right.
neck.
Hot water to open it up and relax, but just be careful with the hot water.
Right.
It also vasodilates, meaning opening up your blood flow. And if the blood flow again is leaving the head too fast, you're going to get lightheaded. And we don't want you fainting,
No,
passing out. So
no.
be careful.
And that's another thing too. When we start these exercises, we're going to stress this a bunch. If you do get lightheaded, okay, stop. Let's talk to your doctor. Okay. There may be other issues going on. But to start off with, let's talk about the exercises that we're going to do. One of the things is called a static stretch. And what we're going to start off with that static stretch is you're going to actually stretch the muscle you have been using to have the problems with the neck. But we're going to stretch that out. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold yourself straight, and you are going to have your shoulders nice relaxed in the back and everything. Tuck your chin down to your chest slowly. Okay. Hold that for about 2 to 3 seconds. All right. Now move your head to the left and stretch that head toward your shoulder. Keep the shoulders back straight. Okay. And hold that for about 2, 3, 4.
Make sure you continue to breathe and make sure the shoulders are nice and relaxed.
Softly. Yes, 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 yes. Now, take your head, twist it up, hold that pose of your left ear trying to touch your left shoulder, and look up toward the ceiling, the sky, the Christmas tree playing overhead, the ducks flying overhead, anything like that. Hold that for about 2 or 3 seconds and slowly come back down to normal. When you do that, now do the other side. Go to the right, and you're going to take a look. You're going to you're going to put your chin down first, move your neck over to the right, try to touch. Now look up and see the plane up above, maybe a rocket going by, anything like that, and bring it back. Do it every day, but do it maybe start off 2 to 3 times of doing that. Get that stretch going. Once you start feeling that, you're going to feel that over time. One thing I will stress is that when we've been going, I've been a gym regular for years before I became a trainer. And one of those things that we always notice, so several guys, people in the gym, the regulars, we always notice that January 2nd, everybody makes that New Year's resolution and they're in there. The gym gets crowded. It gets packed. It's to the nines. Then what happens is after about 2 weeks, notice start filtering out that people are not coming in anymore. And they've given up because they think that I'm going to look like, Arnold Schwarzenegger did back in 1978 or 76 when he was actually bodybuilding. That doesn't happen. Okay. It takes time. So, but you have to build on that. It's a tough road to hoe to go up, up, up. So when you're doing these exercises, like I said, start off 2, 3 times once a day. Maybe after a week, if you want to go a little bit further with that, go another week or two, maybe go 6 to 8 times. After that, I think it's good. Stay with that. But that keeps stretching that neck. And that's what we want to get. You're going to maybe see relief in that pain of that tech neck and that it's going to build up your back part of your muscles. One other exercise that we can do.
Before you go on,
Oh,
MJ,
sorry.
that neck movement, how long do you feel they should hold it? Because I'm
Oh,
having them breathe in and breathe out. Always breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, and your head's down, you're breathing in, breathing out. You have a certain count
sure.
that you're holding each movement?
Head down 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds at the most. When you move it to the left or to the right, another 4 to 5 seconds. When you look up, another 4 to 5 seconds. Stop, rest, give it about 30 seconds, and then do it again.
All right. And how many cycles? What do you say?
Well, like I said, you start off with 2 to 3, your first week, maybe 2 weeks.
Okay.
If you start feeling more comfortable, your neck is feeling like, hey, I'm getting a nice stretch out of this. Now move it up to 4 to 5 times, then move it up to 6 to 8.
Mhm.
As you go, you progress. You're always progressing in training and stuff like that. Never mind the no pain, no gain. You always just want to move up the ladder and progress. But you want to come to a point where you're going to end it. I think 6 to 8 is fine for
Just make sure the movements are smooth. You don't want any jerky sudden movements. Oh my God, I just wrenched my
mm,
neck or something like that.
yes.
Also be careful because sometimes the jowls and stuff, with this movement, it should start to turn that area up a little bit
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, watch as MJ said, you don't want too much discomfort, uh, but you want to be breathing in properly. You want to do the smooth movements, and you want to make sure the shoulders, everything is nice and relaxed. Okay. The more you do this and you stay with these daily movements, that they become change in your lifestyle, they become a habit, and then your body will naturally accept it, and it won't be a chore. It will be, "Okay, it's like I'm getting up in the morning, I'm brushing my teeth, I'm gonna start with this
Yep.
exercise."
And you may start feeling a lot of relief. You may start noticing something, that friend of yours that was saying before, "Hey, your head's not going forward anymore. Hey, you know what? I think I should try that." These are it doesn't matter really if your head is going forward or not before, if you have upper crosses. These are good exercises, period,
Yeah.
to
Oh, yeah.
do. So
Prevention too.
right.
So who knows, it may develop later on if you
Mhm.
don't have it now, because over time you're noticing that the head is coming forward, that you're leaning down more on the floor. Even when we were in school back in the day, before the computers, we had regular typing,
Mhm.
right? You should get the carpal tunnel and stuff like that. But also it's a leaning down. People now have standing type computers and stuff because they're realizing that this movement here is not good.
Right.
That's not how our body was meant to be. Stay with that diaphragm nice and wide and expand. You're breathing in that nutrient, the oxygen, much needed to go up to the brain, because that's where our breathing and our heart and the circulation, more than 60% of that energy is going to the brain. Head, shoulders up.
So exercise number 2. So what we are going to do is it's called a floor cobra, and it's gonna be like you're gonna be almost like a cobra. We're gonna do this like the floor. So you're gonna lay down flat on the floor. If you want, you can do it on your bed too. We can, you can do that. It's a little probably maybe a little more comfortable for you, especially older adults. But what you're going to do is you're gonna lay flat, chest on the floor, everything flat on the floor, and you're going to put your arms by your side. Then what you're going to do is you're gonna raise that your shoulders up. Try to get up about an inch, 2 inches up off the floor, and then pinch your shoulders back. When I say pinch them, pinch like you're trying one shoulder trying to touch the other on the other side.
Okay.
When you do that, hold that. Hold it for 5 seconds, then bring it back down.
Okay, so just real quick, a visual. So if this is your body, right? You're laying, this is your abdomen, your stomach is touching the floor. You're not saying to lift the whole abdomen and waist up. You're
No,
saying just pretty much the
just your neck.
head, right? The shoulders. So the upper part of the body is going to come up, and then you're going to pull the shoulders back.
Right.
So it's not going to be, okay, this would be my waist, and I'm coming all the way up, almost like, what is that position? Because some of the cobras and yoga, it looks like they're really coming up with their chest and
Right.
abdomen off the mat. We're
Yes.
not saying that.
No. What
Okay.
I don't want older adults to try and be,
That's really flexible,
yeah,
tight.
Simone Biles on a gym. We don't want that yet. You're not getting there. Okay, that's not going to happen. We don't want that to happen because things will start popping and cracking and stuff. We don't want that. We just want you to do it a little bit. Get that out there. We want that stretch in the neck, and that's what we want. So going on with that. So
You were saying there's also a way that if you're sitting, you're not hitting on the floor.
you
So
can
if you want
turn
to
the
turn your
chair,
chair.
turn your dining room chair, turn your desk chair, turn it around. Sit with your legs not forward, but legs backward on the chair. You can move that, bring your chest up, shoulders straight, and then pinch those shoulders again. And that's what you're going to pinch the shoulders back a little bit.
Don't clasp the hands
Don't
behind.
clasp the hands behind. No. So you're going to pinch the shoulders back. So if you're watching on YouTube, you'll be seeing Angie doing this right now. If you're listening, just again verbally, pinch the shoulders back. So, yeah.
I could feel the stretch in the middle of my back. So
So you can get a stretch in the middle of the back, but you're going to see that. Now, if you want to, while you're pinching your shoulders back, you can look straight up while you're sitting in the chair, because you're going to be kind of looking up at the ceiling when you're laying on the floor. You're going to pick your head up, and you're going to be looking up. Don't look forward, just look up. When you do that, your eyes are going to be up. That's all. So that you pinch your shoulders back, give that stretch a good 5 seconds. Do that stretch maybe 5 times to start. Then do again, maybe you want to elevate that. You're going to go maybe a couple weeks later, do 6 sets, if you will, of that. And see what kind of improvements you get off of that. All right.
Okay, and continue again, and make sure you're breathing with all these movements. Make sure you breathe in through your nose, kind of slowly and hold it, and then you're slowly breathing out through your mouth with each and every movement. Just nice and easy, nothing jerky, nothing fast. You want a nice, smooth transition from one to the other.
So, so those are two exercises to start. They're basically stretching exercises for you to get started on, kind of hopefully over time eliminate or relieve that upper cross syndrome. There'll be more exercises as we go that we can discuss. Upper cross syndrome. We'll have lower cross syndrome for the legs, and we'll be talking about things, knees buckling in, proper ways of exercises. We'll even be going for videos purposes, we'll be going into the gym, but we'll explain that too for those listening. So as we get started on this podcast, we hope that you will join us a lot
Yes, good
and,
stuff.
and we hope to be regulars on the podcast airwaves. Yeah, you probably, if you saw our first one, this is our second podcast. If you saw our first one, we have said that we were going to be having an email. We have an email. So we are called the Golden Power Couple. And you can email us at goldpowercouple at gmail.com. Not golden, gold power couple at gmail.com. Apparently somebody has that already. So just email us at goldpower with your questions, with anything that you want to talk about, thoughts. We'll talk nutrition. We're going to talk different disciplines, mental, things like that. And we hope that you will be joining us, right?
That's right. Please. Again, we're here to assist to make this a beautiful transition so you can be at peace with your body because your body is here to service you. And so you need to have that connection mind, body, spirit, soul, just all in one.
Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you.
Okay. Peace and blessings until we meet again.